Okay, I'm still down in, I'm now in Alamogordo. I had gone to church in Tularosa. It's Sunday. Now I'm in Alamogordo. I want to get some new clothes. But, you know, because I mainly have play clothes. Most of my clothes up in Cloudcroft at the cabin are the play clothes for the mountains. Just a couple of things that are nice. Everything else is in storage. I really need to get stuff out of storage, but I'm not going down to El Paso right now. It's too friggin' hot. But this is something I thought I would tell you all. Anybody thinking of moving to Cloudcroft, even Ruidoso, but Ruidoso has some other stores that you can, lots of shopping up and down their little tourist place. I'm not sure, you know, some of them have clothes. But if you go rural, like I'm 25, no, I'm really, yeah, I'm 26, 27 miles from here, up in the mountains on top over there. You can't see the top from here. It's deceptive. It goes on and on and on. At any rate, one of the big disadvantage, I've been putting this off, and then I thought, well, I'm down here, I'm going to look. The big disadvantage of going rural is there's really no shopping. Ross Dress for Less. I remember there were some Rosses in El Paso. I never went there. Melrose Family Fashions and Home Goods. Not sure what that is. Marshall's, that's a new store. I'm not sure what's in Marshall's, but when you go rural, you really are limited in your clothes shopping. I guess this is why some people buy clothes online. Thing is, I like to try things on. I don't even know if these stores still exist. Lord & Taylor, Neiman Marcus. Of course, you're not going to find that in Alamogordo. They may have both gone out of business for all I know. So many places have gone out of business. But this is it. This is it. This is the mall in Alamogordo. It's called White Sands Mall. Let me drive without being in danger. That's it. Marshall's. Of course, there's a Harbor Freight over there. I like that Harbor Freight. And you'll notice it looks like a mess because something caught on fire on the outside of the building. But actually, I think I did go into a Ross once in El Paso, the one down near Bassett Center. And I mean, it's just not my thing. The one good thing they've got in this mall is they have a really good Chinese food buffet in here. I haven't eaten yet, but you see, I have chicken breasts at home, and I've got plenty of food at home. I like to avoid salt. Of course, Chinese food is going to have a lot of salt, but boy, I love Chinese food, and they've got a good place in there. I may eat here, but Melrose Family, I don't know what that is. Dillard's. Now in El Paso, there was Dillard's, there was Macy's. I mean, Silla Vista Mall was just right down the street from me. Ashley Outlet. What the heck is that? Ashley Outlet. Outlet of what? It's just a dearth of shopping. That is something that's going to happen, I would assume, everywhere. If you go rural and your nearest town is a small town. Alamogordo has so many sweet people. I'm always impressed with the people here. Like last time I was here was earlier last week. Big Lots. I mean, it's nice. The Big Lots is still fairly new here. I'm glad there's a Big Lots. See, and there's a Hobby Lobby. That's it. That's it for Alamogordo Mall. White Sands Mall in Alamogordo. Alamogordo has 30,000 people in it. It's the nearest town to Cloudcroft. If I want to go further, I would go to Las Cruces, which is out in that direction, but I'm not going there today. Las Cruces from here is an hour drive, 1 hour drive. Las Cruces does have a mall, one mall, and it has more shopping, a lot more shopping. And then the nearest big city is El Paso, of course. And from my cabin to El Paso, it's 2 hours and 30-minute drive. And quite frankly, last time I was in El Paso, I was appalled by the air pollution. It was just so shocking. It's getting worse every year. It's terrible what's happened. I'll have to see if there's some other kind of stores. I just haven't really looked. But that is a problem. I may have to just get online and see about shopping online for clothes, because I don't want to really drive in this heat. On the other hand, I may have to. Of course, Walmart has clothes. You all know that, but who wants to buy clothes at Walmart? El Paso does have Dillard's. They have, or at least they used to. I don't know what they have now. It's been over a year since I was last in El Paso. And when I was there, I only stayed for a few hours. Look, Tractor Supply. You know, they've got clothes in Tractor Supply, but that's not the kind of clothes I'm looking for. Though I like their overalls. I love overalls. We're on White Sands Boulevard here in Alamogordo. Clothing. I'm going to have to get things out of storage. I've got plenty of, nicer clothes in storage. But I'm just thinking, I'm tired of wearing the same, like, 2 or 3 garments at church. Because I just have play clothes, and when you've got, I live at my cabin now, and I still have the mentality of a seasonal person. That's still my mentality, and I've got to switch my mentality, because what I would do is, I like looking at that. Let's see, storage sheds. American Barn Company, they've changed. I have to look at that stuff. There's the School for the Blind. That's been here over 100 years. New Mexico School for the Blind and visually impaired. It's been around a long time. I think there was some sort of controversy about that store that school at one point, because what was his name? What's his name? Sam Donaldson, newsman. Back when he was working, he's long retired. He's quite elderly now. He's quite elderly. But Sam Donaldson's originally from El Paso. He went to the same high school my mother did, Austin High School. He's in my mother's yearbook. He was a freshman when she was a senior. Here comes a cop. I'm not sure why. Hope it's not to get me. There he goes. Cop. We had a tragedy the other day. A policeman was shot and killed here in Alamogordo by some jackass who had already had dealings with the police where he had assaulted people, and he had been let out on bail. That's another thing for you all, coming from places where we are no nonsense about crime, like in El Paso. We don't put up with that. That's the tradition. New Mexico blows me away how laissez-faire they are about these criminals. They give them way too many chances. And for anybody who wants to talk about politics, well, if you aren't, it's the Dems. No, it's not. I'm a Democrat, and so are most El Pasoans. And El Paso has been traditionally very, very safe for a city of its size. Traditionally. And it's because we don't put up with anybody's BS. Blow you away. You break into our homes, we'll kill you. You try to break into a car, we kill you. Shoot you dead. Dead as a dog. I can remember when some of the crime started to rise in El Paso in the 1980s at some point for a couple of years, and El Pasoans we're not putting up with that shoot. I remember there was a businessman who shot some people who were stealing out of his business. It was like a couple of cinder blocks and a few other items they'd taken, and he shot them, and one of them died, in his vehicle because they were fleeing his yard. Well, El Pasoans they refused to send that man to jail. That was before the laws were changed so that all of Texas behaves the way El Pasoans behave. And El Paso was heavily Democrat. So it should not be about political party. It should be about what's the point of letting criminals run around free. You wind up getting an Alamogordo policeman shot dead by a jerk who should have been in jail waiting his court here, his trial for whatever crime he had previously done not that long ago. But the guy's in jail now. But that policeman is dead. That's what's so awful. You see, I'll go straight, show you the rest of Alamogordo. I'm already down here, I may as well. See, the rest of it is just a lot of food stuff. And there's a Staples office supply. But finding clothes, man, I am going to have to, but I don't want to wait until fall when it's cooler to go to El Paso and go into storage and sort that out. I'm going to have to schedule it to go somewhere. So go to Las Cruces. Gas, $3.26. Really $3.27 a gallon. And that's usually the least expensive gas station. The rest of this is some car lots and then places to eat. There used to be a really good Chinese buffet down here on the right hand side, but that's been long closed for a while, unfortunately. There's another Chinese buffet, Rocket National Buffet. Oh, look, $3.18. Oh, that's if you use some sort of weird pay system. I'm old. I can't figure out all these weird pay systems. Don't confuse me. Denny's. Oh, some furniture stores. We're not going to find clothes there. I guess I'm going to have to, well, I'll have to look online and see what the kind of clothing stores are in Las Cruces. I've never paid attention to that. I know what's in El Paso. I just don't want to go to El Paso right now to go shop for clothing. And I don't want to dig through my storage right now either. But that's one thing, and I don't think this is unique to just Alamogordo, which is, after all, 30,000 people, the nearest town. I think this clothing situation is every rural area. You're going to have this problem. Okay. When you go over this, when I was heading back to El Paso, when I was up here seasonally, I would just go over that, take a road, and boom, head to El Paso down south there. See, there's Taco Bell, Chili's. There's some other restaurant behind that. But clothing shopping, I'm going to have to go to Las Cruces. Not today, though. It would just take me an hour to drive there, but no, it's too late. And when you go, so when you have to do clothing shopping, you really just have to. And I'll have to look up and see if Las Cruces is worthwhile going to, because I've never paid attention to what kind of clothes they have. You can see how polluted it looks down here. Some of that's wind. We're having a breezy day, so the sand's getting kicked up. And the desert. So some of that is just sand kicked up. And some of it is pollution. This is also Alamogordo's city limits, but it's, there's nothing out this way except for there's a little tiny home village out here on the right-hand side somewhere, and there's a neighborhood, oh, bless their hearts, it's really run down over there on the left. And that's about it. That's out here this way. And this is the highway you take to get to Las Cruces, and it's an hour's drive. just let this run. Heading out this way too is also to Holloman Air Force Base and White Sands Missile Range. Official entrances. Finding, yeah, seeing, and there's a trailer park there. Trailer park neighborhood. The mountains in front of you are the Sacramento Mountains. You're seeing just a little bit of it. But it's a dearth of shopping. I'll have to see. Maybe I'll have to get online and also look at and see what kind of shops are in Ruidoso as far as clothing. This is the smallest place I've ever lived in year-round. Tiniest. You know, when it's just your cabin, it's no big deal. You don't care or pay attention to that because you're shopping in whatever city you live in when you're not at your cabin. But when you move to your cabin to live and enjoy the beauty and the wild animals and stuff, at some point you've got to think about, well, you know, you're not a wild animal yourself. You have to wear clothes. And sometimes you've got to put on some decent clothes, not just mountain woman clothes. And a few little things that you didn't store away. We're entering Alamogordo, I mean the main part of Alamogordo here. Now that's the restaurant Les Combs. That's a relatively recent restaurant. I've heard good things about it though. People like it. Before that they had, well, it was closed for a long time. Before that it was one of those all-you-can-eat chow down places. Can't remember the name of it. Golden Corral. That was it. But I guess they went out of business for some reason. Probably too many people eating up everything they could possibly think of. Maybe that's why the Empire Buffet. Yeah, boy, that was good. I used to take Mother there. She liked it. There are two Walmarts, one big Walmart and one neighborhood market in Alamogordo. And then there's the grocery store Albertsons and the grocery store Lowe's. And the Albertson Lowe's are both really nice stores. They completely remodeled like in 2014 or something. And boy, they're much nicer. The Albertsons is much nicer than any Albertsons in El Paso. And ditto with the Lowe's. Big 8. Far nicer than anything. Well, Rocket National Buffet. You know, I've never eaten at that one. You know, I had somebody on my YouTube channel talk about a bunch of marijuana shops or something, and you know, I hadn't noticed. This lady was concerned though. And now that I'm down here thinking about it, I've passed quite a few. Makes you wonder. I don't know how those places will stay in business. Not for the long haul. This is the big Walmart. Man, I don't want to get clothes at Walmart. They're not going to have anything I like. But they will have maybe some things I need to buy. Yeah, even shoes. See, they have a separate shoe thing. Maurice's. What is that? Is that clothing? I have to go over there and look. Well, anyway, I'm going to shut this off. keep that in mind when you go rural. At some point you have, especially if you're going rural where your base is up in the mountains and the nearest town, like it takes me 45 minutes to get here, to get to this spot from my cabin. The nearest town is 45 minutes away, and it's, you know, a dearth of shopping. Then you have to go much, much further away to do any kind of shopping. That just blows me away. See, I've always grown up in cities. I grew up in El Paso, and then I've lived all kinds of places, but they've always been a lot bigger than here. Oh, bye.